We're live. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing great. Hey, let's see. We've got some people in the chat already, so let's just say hello to them.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Charlene. Hi, Tim Hallenbeck. Hi, Miyagi. And hi, Scatter Terrain. Hope you're doing great.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So, once again, my guest is DM Scotty, a man who requires absolutely no introduction.
Well, thank you.
I mean, come on, everyone knows you at this point. And if they don't, they should.
Yeah. So, we have an exciting news today. The book has released. EZD6 Dreadful Doomscapes is now live. So I'm excited to tell you.
The news just dropped about 30 minutes ago and for the stream, and that was quite a surprise. A good one.
Yes.
Okay, let me just drop the link in the chat for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. Okay, and hi there to Basement Terrain. Good to see you. So, Scotty, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm full steam ahead. I mean, Dreadful Doomscapes is done, and I'm working on the next one. So I'm working on the sci-fi book.
That's awesome.
They're like, when's that coming out?
Yeah, I mean, people have been like, when's it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming?
Yeah. And like Brandon popped in our Discord earlier, and he's saying, he's saying how, these books have to kind of gestate and, get the, we want everything to be right in the book. So, we try to take our time with them and everything. And I always want to say they're coming out sooner than they are. Because I get excited, to get them out. But I know people are waiting for them. So, but yeah, I'm so happy now that it's out.
Okay, but the thing is that this has been in development for about 2 years now. So I'm guessing that's great relief to have it out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anyone who wasn't following on Discord or following with Dreadful Doomscapes, this is the horror playset for EZD6 with not one but 2 modes of play. So, Scott, do you want to tell us a bit more about them?
Yes. Yeah. This is a first for EZD6. So it's going to have 2 play sets in it, which I call the kind of setting books play sets. So like, Wasted World's its own play set. But this one has 2. So it has Everyday Nightmares, which is you're just normal folks in it, like basically like a horror movie trying to survive. And there are Dreadborn Hunters, which are monster hunters. But the cool thing about them is they can absorb the energy of slain monsters and start manifesting their own monster powers, like claws and fangs and wings and tails and all kinds of cool, mechanical stuff for the game. So, but you got to be careful, because if you get too jiggy with it, you can build up what's called Doom in the new book. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then you can like turn into a full blown monster, and you're kind of out of the game. You're an NPC run by the RR. So you might come back to terrorize the other player, your other friends.
And yeah, the thing about it is that Doom builds up super quickly.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, it just start cranking it up.
Yeah, it can creep up real fast and then and get you.
Okay, so Zulia Redux is saying, I am excited for this one, and yes, you should be. You should be. It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into the weeds of the system and the playsets, during development of Dreadful Doomscapes, there was also a 3rd playset called Eldritch City Blues. Do you want to tell us a bit about that, and if that's maybe, that's coming in some different form in the future?
Oh yeah, I would like to. Basically, it's a noir kind of horror, but I based it on a HBO movie done a while back in the 90s called Cast a Deadly Spell. And it was magic had come back to the world, and it was like everybody was using magic as kind of shortcuts. But the reason the magic was coming back was because the old ones were also coming back too. So there's the other side of that coin, right? So it was a neat concept, and I kind of stole that and put it in Eldritch City Blues, and it's a lot of fun. It has a lot of cool stuff. It needs more development, but I ultimately took it out of the Doomscapes because it was just too big. It was becoming too large to fit. So it would have been, it'd been like a double-sized book. So I'm like, this could either be its own book or like a supplement. So maybe I will do a supplement to Dreadful Doomscapes with the Eldritch City Blues.
Right.
But we'll have to see about that.
To be honest, I can see the point of taking it out because, yes, I think it deserves its own book because there was so much material there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, you can go around playing Harry Dresden or John Constantine or whatever. It's like, what's not to like about
Right.
that?
Yeah.
But the other thing, I think that in tone, it had players had a lot more agency than they do in either Everyday Nightmares or Dreadborn Hunters. They're just not that doomed kind of thing.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I mean, like the tone for Dreadful Doomscapes is definitely dark and doomed and scary and gritty.
Oh yeah. We're going for that horror vibe, right? And I think one thing that helps make it, which Karl, you've used in your book, The Four Horsemen, is the stress mechanic, right?
I love that mechanic so much.
Which is really cool. I love it for the Everyday Nightmares because it gives you some manipulation. Squirrel. It gives you some manipulation, but if you manipulate your dice too much, you're essentially killing yourself because you're stressing out. So you got to be careful how much you dip into that pool. But it also has some inclinations to help you manage the stress, right? There are a few inclinations that help you. You can roll for each stress you get to not take it. You can take more stress. So there are a few things that help with it. But it's a cool mechanic.
Plus, you did put in several examples of how to reduce stress, like chilling out or having a drink or what have you. So it's not like jacking it up constantly.
Right. And you can lose stress by having a safe rest or taking drugs or a drink, but you got to be careful because then you can become impaired, right? You don't want to do too much. Or maybe we're just like, oh, whatever, screw it. I'm just drinking.
And the thing I really like about the stress mechanic is how it changes the game completely from compared to Karma. Because people have to be much more careful, and the player behavior really changes with that.
Oh, yeah, it's a huge change. And the other change I made was instead of the hero dice, which is kind of a variable luck thing, there's the flip of fate, which is a 50-50 chance, right? So it's just you flip a coin, you get the heads, something miraculously lucky happens. So like you're watching a horror movie and something will happen, the person's running away and something delays the monster or whatever, and the person gets away at least temporarily. So I like those kind of wild swings of luck because horror seems to support that, right?
Yeah.
So I was running a game where I was actually playing one of the scenario from the book, and we were playing Everyday Nightmares, and the shit had hit the fan. Everybody it was chaos. But every single survivor that rolled their flipped their flip of fate failed. So there were like five people that had used their flip of fate, and they all went tails, and they all had a horrible end.
So when I read that, it was a bit like pushing the rolls in Call of Cthulhu, but it's always a 50-50 chance, and it's not a reroll. You literally just have 50% chance it works, 50% chance things go devastatingly wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, you either get miraculous luck or just horrible luck. It's one of the two. Whereas like the hero die is really more of a spectrum, right? Because you can still roll that one if you roll the hero die, but you have a lot more chance of like succeeding as opposed to like using the flip of fate, right?
Yeah, plus
Or variability, or you can use karma. You can use karma on
or
your,
even stress on a hero die, for example. But yeah, the flip of fate doesn't care.
Yeah. You can use karma on your hero die. You can't on the flip of fate. So it's just like whatever you get, that's what you got.
Okay, and remind me, both the stress and the flip of fate are only for everyday nightmares, not for Dreadborn Hunters, yeah?
Yeah. Every day, the hunters, I wanted to keep heroic, so I left the regular karma system with them. So Dreadborn Hunters have the normal karma system. They don't use the flip of fate or stress. Also, you could, if you wanted a more grimdark game, with regular EZD6, you could take the stress system and put it with the normal EZD6, right? Instead of using karma. If you wanted like a grimdark type thing, more gritty game. Also, if I did that, I would take some of the inclinations that I put in Everyday Nightmares to like mitigate the stress, so that that they would have that option. I would add those inclinations.
You do make a point in the book that EZD6 and Wasted World and Dreadful Doomscapes are compatible. So let's say, for example, you could take the vehicles out of Wasted World, or you could put in monsters from Doomscapes into Wasted World. So and I just love how this universe just keeps expanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I love as EZD6 expands that, you can grab from other sets. So like, we just talked about, like, when you want a more grimdark EZD6, use stress, you could do that, or the new Doom mechanic you could use with, any EZD6 stress game. We also have, there's, shock is in Wasted World, but I have shock and fear, which is basically like kind of a saving roll. It's kind of like if you're, it's like minor insanity type of thing, where you're just like, freaking out for a few minutes or something like that. I also added incapacitation to the game, which is not in the game. But I generally don't like incapacitation all that much, because I don't like skipping players' turns. But there are some situations where it would seem appropriate, particularly in a horror game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
I can see why people would want to use it.
And from what I remember, it's only in a very few cases that you actually rule for that, because it's like that the extreme level.
Yeah, it's the extreme level of like, oh crap, or your mind can't take it. Like, you just can't, you can't handle what's happening. We were talking a little earlier, Karl, about like the challenges kind of with each play set, right? It was like with the first one, it was magic. It was like, how do I do magic that's easy to use, but really badass cool, right? Or, how do we do vehicle mechanics without making it too much like a war game, in Wasted World? And for this one, it was kind of like Doom was the answer to this one, because it was like, with a lot of games, there are like different systems for like, insanity, and then, you have a cursed object, and how's that going to work, and you might have different systems for all of those. Where in Dreadful Doomscapes, it's one system. It's just Doom. It's like you acquire Doom, and when you get that third Doom, when you get that, it manifests. That's when you pay the price for the Doom, right? So if a werewolf bites you, and they don't, if they bite you and you haven't taken your third Doom yet, you don't actually turn into the werewolf. It's only when you take that third Doom. So say you're playing and you're fighting a werewolf and you get bit by a werewolf, but you've only taken 2 Doom. You don't turn into the werewolf yet. The curse hasn't fully manifested, right? You might have some signs that things are not right, but for that final manifestation, it takes the third Doom. And so say you're using a cursed object and you get that third Doom. Now you don't become the werewolf. You become whatever that accursed object gives you, the price for using that accursed object.
So it's always the effect that from the thing that gives you the last point of Doom, right? You don't need to track whatever came before that.
And you don't need to track anything, right? You never need to track it, because like, oh, if say, oh, I get bitten by a werewolf 3 times, I'm a werewolf, right, or whatever. It's like you don't need to track that. It's always just the last doom you take is what you get, right? And there's actually a monster in the book that's the Dread Librarian, and they're at this nether-bound library where you can, if you can astrally project yourself or somehow get there, you can go there and see the occult knowledge. But if you injure the librarian, or you try to destroy the librarian, or you take the book or something, that sticks to you forever. So whatever you take, the last doom, you become the new librarian of the netherbound library. So that's a rare exception. But most of them, it's like whatever the price is for the final doom, that's what you pay. Including, that's the way to do permanent insanity, right? Because kind of temporary insanity is like the fear and shock, right? Where you're just momentarily or a few minutes you're freaked out. The permanent insanity, where you're just off your rocker, that's when you take your third doom, right? So if something like an eldritch horror would be, mess with your mind, right? When you take that third doom, you would just go totally insane, right? So there's no tracking of any of all that. There's no like, oh, I've lost, 10% of my sanity or 50% of my sanity or whatever. It's just the 3. When you lose that third one, that's what happens. Although there is a inclination in the Dreadborn Hunters called brooding. And you have 5. You can take 5 doom instead of the 3.
Yeah, you can be extra doomed.
Because you're kind of a dark hero, right?
So in the meantime, hi Little C and hi. Hi Brian Swift. Brian Swift says, "My man, DM Scotty."
Hey, thank you.
Okay, and Zuri Redux says, "I'm interested in mixing in the new mechanics into my 4 Horsemen solo campaign." So,
That's awesome.
Doom would slot in perfectly.
Be great.
Probably would not suggest the Flip of Fate, but for the Horsemen specifically, but Doom fits right in.
Oh yeah.
And let's see. Lil C says, all of the psychological aspects and manner in which they are operationalized in your specific mechanics are the knobs a designer GM needs to turn just to get the right table feel in her RPGs. Yeah, I mean, remember, it's there are very few attributes in EZD6. It's like literally how many strikes you can take, your armor save, and now Doom. Balancing those is a lot of fun.
Right. But the best thing about EZD6 is the speed that you can run the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can just keep throwing stuff at people, so fast. You don't have 20 minutes on your turn to figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to deal with all these things that you have seconds, you have a couple minutes or seconds to just determine what you're going to do, as opposed to other systems that might drag it out, right?
I think that's super important, especially in the case of horror, because every time you take a rules break to see, okay, how does this thing work, whatever, you just lost the tension entirely.
Yeah.
So I mean, that speed really helps with this genre.
Right. And I think mechanics definitely help reinforce things in the game, but it's really, it's really all boils down to the players, right? The more invested the players and the RR in something, the cooler it's going to be in whatever game you play, right? It doesn't matter what game it is. But in particular with horror, getting people invested really, can really help just the experience for everybody. Because, you got to have that you got to have that mindset that particularly with Everyday Nightmares, I'm probably going to die. All right. But how am I going to die? Is it going to be cool? Is it going to be horrible? Is it going to, how is this going to happen? And, the zombie apocalypse. Oh yeah, you could totally do that. I actually don't have zombies in the book, because zombies are already in the normal EZD6 book. So,
and also in Wizard World.
Yeah, but I do have a zombie, like a super zombie in there. And speaking of monsters, one change I did to the monsters was make featured monsters, which they're kind of like super bosses, right? Because and often in horror, there's one monster, right? And you don't want that monster to be beat up too quickly. So there's ways in the book that you can extend that. You can extend the monster's life by mechanics. Like villain dice in the other book, the monsters have dread dice now. So the dread dice are things where they can not just re-roll, but they can like attack everybody. They can spend them to like change into a new form. They can spend them to do like majorly change like some piece of scenery. So there's a lot of things that the dread dice can do that the villain dice were more of just like kind of hero dice for the bad guys. The dread dice are more like, oh shit dice.
But then again, you didn't need those because you're not having a swarm of monsters. Usually, you're just having the one monster who's really catastrophic. But speaking of those, I've got some illustrations from Shombova here. Okay, starting with this picture. This is the cover of the newly arrived books. Not to me. I think Brandon posted these pictures.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy. Brandon, Runehammer, just does a fantastic job on these books. He's amazing. It really goes out to Brandon. But yeah, look at that hardback. Isn't that so cool?
Yep.
And the softback with the person in the alley. Actually, a little Easter egg. The victim in the paperback version is Bova. It's a picture of him.
This guy?
Yeah. He drew himself as the victim.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah, little sneaky little yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, both covers fantastic. Get one for play and one for Sunday best, right? Oh yeah, so there's the regular artwork you can see for the cover. Just so cool. I love how it's eating that table,
Yeah. And I mean, the detail is amazing.
Yeah, so great. Look at all that detail, that Boba puts in these things. There's so many great pieces of artwork in this book.
Yeah, and I also love the little Easter eggs he puts in, like, for example, this with this hunter.
The little details, like look at the pumpkin. I mean, it's so great.
The
so
candy.
Fantastic. All the little gear and details, just great. Just great.
But we were talking about monsters. So, yeah. The Hollow Children, one example, these are creepy as hell. Yes.
Yeah. So the Hollow Children, yeah, just great stuff. So yeah, the featured monster is a whole new thing. One of the scenarios for the Dreadborn Hunters in the book is the Legend of the Mothman. So show that Mothman art. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that great with the fractured, the fractured mirror and all the different, and all these, like come up in the scenario, all these pictures. Just so great. Just love it.
Just a few examples of the art in Dreadful Doomscapes. And yeah, by the way, this is what happens to if you get too much Doom from using your
if you doom yourself out, right?
Scattertain saying Bova so talented. No kidding.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm so lucky that he has joined the team and is on board with doing these books, because I just salivate over every new image that he does. He does so great. I'm like, when's the next one? I can hardly wait to see the next one as we're producing the book,
Yeah, and the thing is that I can see from the details and stuff, he seems to have a lot of fun drawing these.
And I in his kind of first work was basically horror. He did a lot of horror, so I think that's, this is his playground. Horror is definitely his playground. Oh yeah, I agree. He does. He just outdoes himself. Every book is just better. I mean, which is hard to believe because they're all so great. But like every book is just he's just wowing me, yeah. And so Brandon sets him up with what we need for the book, and coaches them on what is needed and everything. And but Boba, man, he's so great.
So before we get back to the monsters, you mentioned that there are 2 adventures, one for Everyday Nightmares and one for Deadborn Hunters, included in the book. Would you like to pitch them?
I'm sorry, have what?
Would you like to pitch them? Talk about them.
Oh yeah. So I really wanted to include a scenario in the book, so for each set to get like a feeling of what the set was going for. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. And so I really wanted to include scenarios in the book because I thought it'd be important to help define what the sets are going for. I mean, of course, it's your book. Take it everywhere you want to go. But yeah, the Dreadborn Hunters are very cool because the idea was like, kind of like Buffy, Van Helsing, those kind of things. But also an old book that it kind of influenced me on the Dreadborn Hunters was Rippers. It was a book from Savage Worlds, but it was set in like Victorian times.
Oh, well,
and yeah, the monster hunters actually like ripped. They were called Rippers because they actually ripped like the monster parts off of them and like grafted them to themselves and stuff, which I thought was a neat idea. But I wanted to go where the Dreadborn Hunters can look human. Like they don't have to be part monster and all this kind of stuff. You can, with the Dreadborn Hunters, you can suppress or activate your monster abilities. So you can walk around totally normal looking, and then then you can change. You can actually manifest all your monster abilities at once, or 1 or 2, or whatever you want to do. As far as Doom is concerned, for that, instead of rolling every time you use your monster powers, it's just at the end of the scenario. If you've used monster powers for the scenario, you have to roll a Doom at the end. So to see if you get your normal, it's an avoidance save. So if you make your avoidance save, you don't take Doom. You can use Karma on that, just like other saves. But if you don't, then you get a Doom, and you start stacking that up. Also, if you defeat like a great evil, you can actually lose a Doom. So that's kind of cool. The everyday nightmares kind of thing is more for like one shot. It'd be hard to continue that because most people are going to die in scenarios. But the monster hunters will definitely survive. They're very tough, very strong, and this is good. You would definitely want to have a campaign with monster hunters because you can do more with it. Also, the idea was like that they can absorb the monster powers. They have a special organ in their body that manifests when they reach puberty. It starts to manifest, and that's when the Vanguard seeks out these people and trains them. Like think Buffy, right? Where the mentor comes and gets Buffy, right? And it's like not only the information arm of the whole monster hunting thing, but it's like just encouraging them and helping them to get what they need, right? So that's what the Vanguard does. But yeah, like in the game, you could have like the Vanguard is like this big, big organization that has all this resource, or it could just be some wandering mentors that live in the shadows and come out and help monster hunters when they need it. So it's really up to you how you want to run that. If you want more like a vigilante vibe, then you probably don't want to have the big organization of the Vanguard. But if you want like more high tech stuff and everything, then you can do the full Vanguard, where they're checking in with the the monster hunters are checking in with the Vanguard and all that. Then you can have more of that kind of play. But yeah, the monster hunters, they also have, since they have the I call the organ the Vitalis node. Since they have that, they also start with a cool ability like an edge from Wasted World. So there are like some supernatural abilities that they can get to start with that. Also, the Dreadborn Hunters, you don't really start with monster adaptions, but if you want as an RR, you could definitely start your players with like one adaptation. You know, it's up to you.
We have a question from Tim Hallenbeck here about campaign play. Are there advantages to buy for players, I imagine? XP in either of these playsets?
Oh, yeah. The Dreadborn Hunters has its whole, you know, you basically, it's like it's like Wasted World when you get an XP per adventure. But you can also get, I call them chimeric humors, which are the monster essence. So if you're close enough when the monster is destroyed, then you can drain the essence of the monster and then start saving it up for monster adaptations. So you can start. So it's not necessarily the monster. You don't have to track each monster you killed and all this kind of stuff to see what adaptations you get. You can choose any adaptations. It's just when you get enough energy from slain monsters, you can buy the monster adaptations, like you would with XP.
So the XP is a separate mechanic. So you basically get these two things, two resources which can be used at the same time.
Yes, exactly. They're like parallel.
Not the same things.
Right. Yeah. They're like parallel. So the one is just XP for straight up inclinations and that, you know, buying maybe extra strikes and that kind of thing. Or yeah, you can use your chimeric humors for the monster abilities.
Okay, this is saying books ordered.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, yeah, let's see. Hopefully we'll see some Dreadful Doomscapes at Grit next year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with regards to Everyday Nightmares, I don't think there's any experience in there yet because you're not expecting the characters to survive.
Right. The book also has advice for like running horror and stuff like that. I think there's some really good advice. I think it's like, you know, you're never gonna, in a game where, you know, everybody's conscious that you're playing a game and all this kind of thing, you're never really going to necessarily terrify the players, right? But you can get under their skin, right? You can make things creep them out, and you can also have hard moral choices, which I always like to have in every game anyway. But having those hard or difficult moral choices really, you know, in a horror game, you can really amp that up, right? You can really make it like, you know, kind of like the kneecapping thing. Like you get a kneecap, you got to kneecap your neighbor, and you get away from the
zombies or whatever. I mean, one of the pieces of advice that you mentioned that was really good was about like you can't put a xenomorph in a room and get aliens. I mean, like you're not going to create the vibe or whatever. So I think, yeah, that section of the book was very valuable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think there's some good advice in there for doing it. And also, like I say in the book, like you don't always have to have a totally serious tone. Like, you know, horror is part of the drama. I mean, I'm sorry, humor is part of the drama. So, and you know, like things that skirt that, like, you know, like Reanimator, like it's so it's so insane, you know, that it's funny at times because it's just so over the top, you know, you know. So
I think I've seen that in I've read that in most of the horror writing advice that I've seen is like if you just keep the tension at 100% all the time, then people are just going to get numbed out. They're not going to care. Whereas you want to have those rises and increase tension, decrease tension. Otherwise, it just goes flat.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Work on the tension. You know, work on the tension of the game. You know, kind of like it's kind of like pacing. You know, like you want to have good pacing in your game, which EZD6 definitely helps to do. But yeah, work on that. Yeah, work on that underlying tension. And if, you know, if players give you stuff, use it. You know,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know me, I always do.
What do you mean? So apart from Doom, I recall that when you were developing this, the featured monsters themselves were also like a design problem because, like you, like I said, like you wrote, you cannot just put a monster in the room and that's scary now. Like so, apart from the Doom dice, I think you also developed a lot of stuff for them, and it's not necessarily just I mean, in all of the cases, it's not just more strikes and more armor. Would you like to talk about the design process?
I'm sorry, talking about what?
The design process for the featured monsters.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, my cut off a minute. Yeah, it was. I wanted something. I wanted something that was challenging enough that the players wouldn't almost certainly couldn't just defeat it by combat, right? I mean, you can if you get lucky, if you get enough crits, or that kind of thing. You might be able to defeat one of these monsters, but using their weakness against them was the thing. That's a new thing in this book. Also, weaknesses of monsters, right? So you can exploit the weaknesses to help you win, right? Which is really cool. So like there might be a cursed object that the thing's linked to, and you have to find the cursed object to either destroy it or to weaken it so you can actually kill it, right? So those kind of things I think are fun as far as the featured monsters, so that players can be creative as far as using those weaknesses to try to defeat monsters, and it's not all just about mechanics, right? It's about clever ideas.
I think we saw an early version of that in the Wasted World adventure with the cinema.
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's some monsters in Wasted World that are very close to featured monsters, right?
Okay, and Mia Geek is saying, best birthday gift ever. Well done, guys. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday,
Oh,
Mia.
that's great. Yeah, happy birthday, and thank you. I'm glad you feel that way.
Okay, let's see. And let's see, says, Karl's point about taking tension levels. I assume the advice you often hear about among badass GMs about turning it up to 11 for the whole game. That really flattens the table drama.
Yeah, that's a great point, because if you're trying to push it too crazy the whole time, when you finally get to that point where you really want to put the pedal to the metal, and like just throw all this stuff at them quickly, it may not feel like that big of a bump because you didn't build up the tension, right?
Okay, on the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the exploding confetti, if you target the...
Yeah, right. And it was funny because, like, as Brandon was working on the book, he was like, I know where this monster came from. Because I mean, it's totally inspired by movie monsters and everything, and like, yeah, he's like, yeah, this monster came from that, and this one, and they're not necessarily called that, or some of the monsters don't even have names, in movies and stuff. But yeah, you'll see these as you page through the monsters. You'll be like, oh, I know where that's from. I know the inspiration for that.
I got a few of them, but there are several that, like, for example, the Dread Librarian, for example, no idea. There's the super creepy grinning man. I have no idea.
Yeah.
The dark matter outer gods. Okay, I can see where those came from, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hunting for the references in your books is always sort of fun.
Yeah. But any more questions?
Not exactly about Dreadful Doomscapes, unless someone else has any other questions in there. But yeah, I did want to ask you about your next project for EZD6, which you have already been working on for some time.
I'm sorry, say again.
I don't have any more questions about Dreadful now, unless someone in the chat has any more questions. But the
Oh,
sci-fi
sorry,
playset.
it was cutting off. It was cutting off. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So, short version, the sci-fi playset. Do you want to tell us about
Oh
it?
yes, yes, the sci-fi playset. Yeah. So I'm I'm getting even more insane with that. I'm going to try to have 3 playsets in the book. So this is going to be a challenge. But I think one thing that's going to help me is because what I've done is, well, for you'll see for Everyday Nightmares is there's no hero paths, right? It's all one hero path. So for Everyday Nightmares, you're just victims, right? You're everybody's a victim, and you just choose from the same stuff. Dreadborn Hunters is the same way, where you're all Dreadborn Hunters. That's the path you are, and then you choose everything else, right? So there's no separate paths in that. In the sci-fi book, what I've done is people have a ship assignments. Okay, so you might have captain, science officer, medical officer, engineer. You know that. So everybody is assigned, an assignment on the ship. So that makes it so like you get some of your inclinations from that, like a hero path,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get then you fill in with inclinations. But see, the thing with that is that helps shorten it is because like in normal EZD6, there's all these different hero paths,
Yeah.
whereas there are different hero paths, but they're all kind of just ranks on the ship. They're all kind of just assignments on the ship, right? So it gets it out there. It saves some space as far as like each individual one, because it gives you a couple things. Also, what I did with the book was, well, let me tell you what play sets I have. So I have I have the Pulp play set, which is like Rocket Patrol, right? Which is just so fun. I've had so much fun running that set because people just go over the bombastic, over the top, and have a blast. Then the other one is a Star Trek like set, right?
Okay.
So I wanted like a utopian kind of Star Trek set. The great thing about that is I can have all my own lore, and you can have all your own lore because it's not set in stone with this huge amount of canon, right? You can just make up whatever you want. with a few precepts
Mm-hmm.
of like, oh, here's the setting. You can make up anything in between, right? Which I love, because then you and the players are making the world, not the world making you necessarily, right?
I mean, like,
It's like,
this is like in a wasted world where you can you've got the basic rules, and then you can decide to base it on Fallout, or you can base it on the Book of Eli, or the whichever other.
right, exactly. And with Wasted World, you could go more, down to earth version,
Mm-hmm.
and you could even like take the miasma out. You could have it more Mad Maxy, or you could do, more Gonzo even, space wizards and shit. But so the second was like that optimistic future of the Star Trek. And what I did for it was always a problem I've had with the Star Trek type thing is like you're like 6 people or 4 people on a ship of like 200 or whatever, right? Like a big ship, right? Which so that means the game master has to run all these NPCs that are like other crew members, right? Which that's not generally how I like to play. I like to really concentrate on the player characters, not me running all these NPCs. So what I did was for that set, the players are on a special ship that has the track drive, the trans-dimensional refracted accelerator centrifuge. So Star Trek. Okay. So with a C, of course, not a K. So your ship is an experimental scout ship that has the track drive, and the track drive is a jump drive that can go, jump that. So you're like a quick responding ship, right?
Okay.
But the ship can't be big because the tolerances of the drive would tear up larger starships, right? So you're in a scout ship, so it's just the crew. It's just however many players you have or the crew, plus you have the central computer, and you have like drone robots that help with the ship. Also, the drone robots help with the ship because I want all the crew to go off the landing party, right? You don't want somebody to have to stay on the ship. So the main computer and the drone robots work the ship under the command of the biological crew while they're going on away mission. So no one has to stay on the ship, right? So those were considerations that I put into it, and it's a blast. It's so fun.
Do you have a problem with rank between the players? Because I mean, if someone is the captain and the other guy is the I don't know, the spaceship toilet cleaner, and it's like, do they have to? Do they get to order each other around? Do they?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the captain can order you to do. I mean, whether you do it or not. I mean, if you want to go mutiny and not do it. I mean, but you know, Star Trek is. I mean, it rarely feels in Star Trek like that the commanding officer is commanding the crew, right?
True, yeah,
They're voluntarily like on board with almost always what the captain does, unless there's some weird thing going on where the captain's weirded out or something, right? Like it's all they're basically best friends, and like whatever, and the captain is their leader, and whatever he wants to do, they're all good with it and all trying to help. So it's part of that optimistic future where, you know, everybody brings their skills to the table. We're all friends. You know, science can solve every problem. You know, science and compassion can solve every problem. You know, so it's like, you know, it's that kind of thing. And so it doesn't feel like commandy. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so hello to campaign terrain into quiz board terrain. So, we've got all the terrains today. That's nice.
Yeah.
And Tim Hallenbeck has a question. So, book 10 will have 10 playsets?
It might. We'll see if I can fit the 3 in. But the last one is Fixers. So it's the dystopian. It's a dystopian one. How many people play Beam Me Up, Scotty? Oh, I had such a cool terrain for that. I had like a little disc that had like lights that would go around. It looked like the transporter. So cool. I made like an engine that was like looked like the warp drive in the Enterprise because it had the rings. But I actually got the rings from their clear shower curtain rings.
Oh, okay.
And glued them together to make like the warp drive looking thing.
Is this the one that where you use those plastic boxes to make the ship?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I use those plastic containers and just put them together. I also, for the nacelles, I also use like a weird shaped water bottle that I had, and I put a light in it, so you know the front of the nacelle had a light. And it was just really it was really badass. But the Fixers, I might do that. They asked about the Shadow of Arconia. They've been asking me to play again, so I'm definitely gonna. But I was trying to get the book finished and all this kind of stuff, so that's why we kind of held off. But I'm gonna run some more stuff on their channel. But the Fixers is the dystopian set. So Fixers are basically mercenary crews that work for the Pangalactic corporations, and that's how they have their freedom, because they're independent spacers, right? Yeah, most people are like slaves on horrible mud-soaked worlds, you know, like an alien. You know,
in fact, I had asked you about I had asked you about Firefly before the stream, and you mentioned it's going to be so much darker.
Oh yeah. And so basically, the corporations have gene scrubbed the population so that they're not super intelligent, but they're more hardy and survive better in like the horrible working conditions. So you can choose one of these. It's kind of like it's kind of like your species thing to start, although it's your birth. So one of them is the gene scrubbed, but you have a boon to save against contamination, poison, and contagion because you've been built that way, right? The other one is natural borns. Like there are a few people rarely people are natural born. And so with a natural born, you're luckier than most people. So you get like an extra hero die to start.
Okay.
The ascendant, or actually descendant, the ascendant are the kind of people that live in the literal ivory towers above all the muck and slime and horribleness of the lows, you know? So, you can be one of those, but you're basically you've basically been kicked out of the Ascendant, right? Or maybe you just wanted a life of adventure. It was just too boring being an Ascendant. You wanted to go risk your life in the space or whatever. So there's that. And I also have androids, which is interesting. Sims. They are, because in the Star Trek set, I don't really have robots or Sims, but in the fixers, you can be an android, but the android is not programmed to fight. So you have a bane. If you want to fight, you can't take any fighting inclinations.
Okay.
And if you fight, you have a bane in all your attacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can fight. You just don't normally do it, right? Because you're more like a service droid, right? You're more like, telling information and doing things for the biological crew and all this kind of thing.
So it's more like a support character kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the Pulp playset, you can be a robot, and the robot just has a set thing. Like this is what you're the robot. This is what you have, and the robot is really badass. But like you're just set as what you have for the robot. Also, you're kind of an ambling. You're kind of slow because the robots and the
okay, yeah.
and those things are like they're slow.
So you're leaning that hard into that. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. But also this is interesting. I thought I would do this. In the Fixers playset, it doesn't really fit very well. But in the Pulp playset and the Star Trek based playset, I have like basically lower level characters that you can play. So like you can be a space cadet in the Rocket Patrol set, and you basically don't have any inclinations. Like you don't start with any inclinations.
Are those like the what do you call them? The hirelings or
for the like the funnel characters so, and surprisingly, when my playtest, somebody almost always uses a space cadet, and in the Star Trek one, it's the ensign. You're an ensign, and almost always someone takes the ensign. And these people don't have any inclination. They start with two things. They have luck. They're lucky, right? So, so you start with like 6 luck, like the blessed inclination, and you have plot armor, so you can save another crew person by rolling the die, and if you get it, they miraculously don't, like whatever happened didn't happen to them, right? You either distract them or you're just lucky or whatever it is. But we've had so much fun with these characters, because I had one person be like the janitor on the ship, one person was the barista, and the robot player's like, oh yeah. So I have an espresso machine in my chest, and the barista can like make espressos for the crew.
Okay.
Well, somebody played in the Rocket Patrol, and someone played the space cadet. It was like the admiral's son, and so if the captain let anything happen to him, he would lose his career, would be shot, because he has to watch out for this kid. So I mean, just great stuff. Just great stuff.
Yes, I think
same with the ensign.
I think it sounds like you could have an entire party of cadets, and it would be really fun to play.
Mm-hmm. And I had one mini campaign while I was running, and the ensign said he was the engineer. He lied to he somehow faked his application or something, and he said he wasn't. He didn't have any special skill. But what he did was he studied up, and he, like, when he got enough points to level up, essentially, with the points, with the experience points, he bought like a level of engineering. Right?
So fake it until you make it kind of thing, yeah?
Yeah. So he actually came in, he actually lied to get in to be the engineer, but then he became an engineer because he was studying the whole time to become an engineer. So, just fun stuff like that. So those characters are a lot of fun. And I don't have them in the Fixer set because it's more dark dystopian kind of thing.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
What I also gave the Fixers was backgrounds. So you can be a certain background, and then like, so it's kind of like paranoia where you want to hide it from, you might want to hide it from people and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So you might be
Oh,
addicted to, I have this drug called Halo. You might be addicted to Halo, right? And you don't want to tell anybody. Or you might, you might be wanted, you know, if you're an ascendant and you've been cast out, now, you know, you might be on, you know, the radar of the law enforcement. Or if you're a rebel, you know, you're, you know, definitely the law enforcement's after you.
so these are kind of like really focused aspects with actual side effects.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they have good things and they have bad things. So you know, you could be, say you're a mercenary, you know, some groups may welcome you. Other groups are trying to kill you, right? Because maybe they say you did war crimes or you're, you know, whatever against them and they want to get you, you know? So that's fun because you can use those. And when I've been running it, I've been using those against the players. Like I had one guy, I have these, they're called scravs and they're like space pirates. They're scavenger pirate kind of things. And like you were once a scrav, and one player picked
Okay.
that, and they were on a ship, the scientific ship, and the scravs were on shipboard, and they were fighting them and all this kind of stuff. And one of them recognized the dude. It was like,
Ooh.
yeah, he's like, oh, you know, so and so, you know, come on our side, you know, don't stay with these losers. Come with the real people.
It
come
looks
back
like
to your real friends and all this.
Ms. Bortolini just ordered Doomscapes apparently.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they're like, oh shit, they're calling me out. And I've had players like, oh, I'll tell your secret unless you do what I want you to do at a certain time. You know, so.
Ooh, that hard. Nice.
Yeah. So it's so you can use those backgrounds, you know, for and against the characters. Like, oh, they might notice something that they wouldn't because of their background, or discover something. On the other hand, you might discover.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, they've been a blast to play, and I've got most of the play sets done. So now it's just kind of weaving it together into the book.
Okay, so Tim Hallenbeck is saying those are so much fun to watch, referring to the Shadows of Arconia stuff. So apart from the plays that you did on Shadows of Arconia, I believe that you also did a few on Escorial plays, right? Okay, so yeah, so Tim, if you want more material, there you go.
Yep. Yeah, there are a lot. I'm kind of all over the place. I have a few plays. A lot of other, some other people have plays. So I did one for Squirrel and his crew. So that was fun. We did a Dreadful Hunters the game, which was really fun. They had this kind of new. One of the players was kind of this new agent, and he was like, you know, kind of meek, you know, and it was great. He played it really fun. But yeah, there are some great moments in that game. But you know, like I often laugh in games, you know, but it's like I still get I still strive to get those really emotional moments in every game, you know, in all games, because I really feel like, you know, I like to get the whole scope of the human drama into a game. And so getting those hard choices, emotional moments, but also laughter, you know. And sometimes it's funny just because people are so on point. You know what I'm saying? Like when I played the Space Patrol game, we laughed for almost the whole game. It was just because people were so on point, and I was doing the evil monologues with a really, you know, extreme character, you know, and it turned out to not be the actual person. It was Android, and the person was like a floating brain, and the doctor was a floating brain. And
I mean, look, to terrify someone, you just need to tell them simple phrases like "Don't roll a one." Whenever you say that, everyone's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah. Yeah, if you say something in my game, I will probably pick it up, and it'll become, because you know that's how I feel, because like nothing is real in the world until you guys make it real, right? When your players and you make it a thing, make it real, it becomes real. And that's why I love kind of settings that aren't all hammered into stone,
Mm-hmm.
that there's kind of a guideline or a setup, and then then you let everybody loose in it, right?
It's like you were saying earlier with the Vanguard. It's like it's loosely defined, so you can make it whatever you want it to be.
Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, whatever the players want to go for. And yeah, I love that kind of play.
Okay, so going back to horror for a second, is there like any advice that maybe you didn't include in the book, or that you think, okay, look, this is the one most important thing for running horror, in your opinion?
Yeah. Um, hmm, yeah, the one most important thing. That's hard. I think really, when you're running games, um, the most important thing is the energy you bring to the table,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because um, all the players are keying off of you, right?
Okay.
Because you're like the head of the party. You're like the conductor of the game, right? You're the head of the party, the conductor of the game. You're the host. And if you're just like, okay, you come into this room and you see a spider web in the corner, and then yeah, it's a 10 by 10 room. What do you want to do? Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
I see what you
I
mean.
mean
I
that's
see what
what
you mean. Yeah.
that's what it's just this darkened room, and you think you see something in the corner, but you're not sure what it is. You want to check it out, So yeah, I feel that energy you bring. I'm always exhausted, like after running games, because I try to bring so much energy, because I really think the players key off of you, right? They key off your energy, and if you're low energy, then that's what they're going to get. They're not going to have an amazing time. And when and also what I like about EZD6 is, because people don't like to admit it, I don't think, but when they multitask, everything you multitask loses a little bit, because humans can't multitask very well. They like to think they can, but we're not great multitaskers. So my thing with EZD6 is, I love EZD6 so much because it's so easy to sit in your brain, right? You're not using all your RAM thinking ahead. Okay, how do I run this mechanically? What are my 2 pages of stats on this guy? When you're running some more complicated games, that takes up a lot of RAM in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not paying attention to the game and grabbing things that anything somebody says or implies or whatever, you can take it and make it real and insert it into the game. But if you're thinking too much about rules, you may not be your best at that. You know what I'm saying? You may not be the best at picking up those cues.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just harder to do that because you've got so much stuff going on in your head, but it's also if basically, if you've already got a house of cards built up of different rules, then just slotting something else in might just bring it all down.
Right. And that's another thing I love about EZD6 is like the stats. He's right. The stats, for most EZD6 monsters are fairly easy. Now, featured monsters are a little more complex, but if you're running one monster, unlike D&D where you might have dozens of monsters, if you're running one monster, it's not too bad, right? If you have a page of stats, right? But if you're running a bunch of monsters, that's a little more tricky. But I love the fact that EZ6 just flows so easily, and you don't have to waste your head RAM thinking about rules.
Yeah, I mean, like, how long has it been now? 5 years, 6 years since the first one. I mean, like, it's still my favorite role playing system. It's still the one that I use the most.
Yeah. And it's hard for me to play other. I hate to say this, but it's hard for me to play others. I get frustrated. Like, I get frustrated at other systems because like, why do we have to do all this rule? Why are we doing all these rules? Right? It's like, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I played my first game of 5e in November with a double crit fail, and game was also in the game. I mean, it was relatively easy because we were playing on Roll20, so yeah, just push the button and that's fine. But I can't imagine doing that at a table with all the fudging around.
Yeah, yeah. And, 5e is fine. There's nothing wrong with 5e. I've run 5e quite a bit. Although I did talk my group into doing EZD6. But because they didn't have a choice because I was the DM. But anyways. But anyways, yeah, right. Roll20 and those other mechanical kind of things help where D&D starts to break down when you get higher level is rolling all these dice, right? Like, oh, I'm rolling a 10d6 fireball, and then you got to add all that up, right? I mean, the computer does it for you if you're playing on Roll20 or something, right? Or another tabletop. So that's nice. That helps. But that's artificial, right? That's an artificial thing that's propping up the mechanics of the game because they're not smooth, right? So the actual computer itself is propping up the game, where with EZD6 you don't need that. You don't need something adding up all your dice or whatever. Because I was doing a table D&D, and I was trying to get everybody to 20. We didn't quite make it, but I was trying to get everybody to 20, and COVID hit. That was the problem. So we were pretty high. They were pretty high up there, and they were just rolling so many dice, like the magic users and everything. The spells were so complex, and they're rolling so many dice, and it's like, and all that takes time. It's all. I call it rules breaks. I'm sure you've heard me say that. Rules breaks, where it's like every time you have to do something mechanically, it's a rules break that screams the game to a halt, right? So the faster and quicker you can get that out of the way, the quicker the game gets back to being the fun of the game and not the dice rolls, right?
Sure.
Yeah. All the bookkeeping and dice rolls and all that stuff.
Now, yeah, I did have another question about Book of Quests style books for Wasted World or Dreadful Doomscapes.
Oh,
Planning any of that?
I've been so concentrated on the play sets that I haven't really done the adventures. Brandon and I kind of felt that the original EZD6 needed adventures to. Here's the spirit of the game, right? Here's how Scotty does it. But I've been really fixated on the rule sets themselves. So maybe at some point in the future there'll be books, quest books for Dreadful Doomscapes and for. But with Wasted World, I did make some extra modules for it, that we put on DriveThru, and which Karl helped me with. Thank you very much, Karl. And much appreciated. And I want to do some more Dreadful Doomscapes too. So even though the book comes with 2 scenarios, I do want to do. Those were the ones in the book were kind of when I ran them, they were kind of the funnest scenarios that I had run. Because the first scenario is very alien. It's very like Thing-esque, right? Where you don't know who's it, and that kind of thing, and you're having to like fight for your life against these things that are trying to take you over. So it's a blast. Like the groups, once it like hits the fan, it just like gets insane. When it finally comes out, what's going on or whatever, or something's going on. Yeah, the game just gets nuts.
Yeah, and there's, the adventures also have a lot of advice about running them, including how to manage the party while you're running it, which is really useful.
Oh yeah.
I think that adventure is not as simple to run as it looks like on paper, but if you can pull it off, it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's it can get very complex, with the way with the player, players doing stuff and everything. But both and the Mothman is really fun too. I love the Mothman, really cool. I live in Ohio, so Point Pleasant's not too far from me. I live in Dayton, Ohio. So Point Pleasant's not too not too far from me. But I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun running that adventure and writing it. Yeah, it's really cool. And there's a nice little secret in the adventure too. Some secrets that are really cool, which so what is Mothman? Who is Mothman and what is it? So yeah, you find that out in the adventure. So it's pretty cool. There's some like nice surprises.
So that one in particular is more of an investigation, at least in the beginning. So
exactly, it's more like a classic, investigation type adventure.
do you have advice for people running that kind of scenario or stuff like that? Because you've always got I know there are the three clue rule and so on, but some players will just sail past the paper with the thing.
Oh yeah. Those can be tricky to write, but I think the adventure I wrote has a nice kind of, you start finding out clues, and then you kind of you have your choice of which way to go and everything, but you're not going to get all the clues at once, right? You're not going to get all the clues from everything. One clue is going to leave you wanting more, right? It's going to leave you, okay, how does this fit in, and all that kind of stuff. So I think just kind of, don't put all your eggs in one basket, essentially, right?
Okay, yeah.
When you're running like that, because they might bypass something, and then they find the big clue that changes everything, right? So, the trick is to hook them to keep trying to find clues, but not give them like the one magic clue until near the end that maybe puts everything together, right? So yeah, it's kind of like direction, pacing, giving them enough clues to get them to the next part, and that kind of thing. And then, so it sets it up nicely. But one going back a while, Gareth and I did The North Road. That's a book.
Okay.
On, yeah. And we did a Kickstarter for it and everything. And we have an adventure in there that's a mystery. But the cool thing is, in the mystery, everybody did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like, whoever you figure out, there's like more to it, because all these people think they did it. And they did the murder, right?
Oh, okay.
They think they're the ones that did the murder. So you start, it's like, okay, so who really did it? Who really did the murder? So that way, even when you find out who the murderer is, it's not the end yet. Like you don't really know exactly who it was yet. Because all these people think they did it, right? So that's one way to beat that. Oh, we're going to bypass all these clues and go right to the thing. Okay, you win. So yeah, definitely those kind of adventures are definitely trickier. But that's the kind of thing that's nice about kind of doing adventures, as far as like plot points of adventure. I was running the Fixers, and basically their assignment was to go to this ship that had been trapped in the warp, and it came out of the warp space, and it was like 50 years old, and it was a research ship, and they were supposed to go in there and grab whatever valuables they could before the ship broke up or whatever. So with that, they had places on the ship they could dock, that I had, basic big locations they could dock. You want to dock by the labs, the engine. The engine is out. You want to see if you can get the engine back started. All this and all. They had all these choices to start where they dock. But as far as like clues and stuff goes, like they had to explore to get that. They had to weird stuff would start happening, and then because I would have plot points that I would drop, basically no matter necessarily where they went, right? Like if they went to the bridge or they went to engineering, there's a plot point I would drop at either one, right?
I see.
Even though the location's different, and they might find out different stuff from the different locations. Like for example, when they went to the engineering, they found out that they would have to go to the bridge to start the ship. Like they could power up the reactor, but they couldn't actually make it go until they got to the bridge. It was locked out or whatever. The controls for the engineering were locked out, of course. So,
so basically, you're giving them direction without pushing them, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I guess we should go to the bridge now because, and then you can have a couple of plot points on the way, or maybe a clue that leads to the main thing that they're trying to figure out, right? So that's kind of how I like to do it. Even with like dungeons, like in the adventure book.
Mm-hmm.
They're laid out like that. They're laid out kind of like, oh, all this stuff you could roll on this chart to see, what happens on the way that you're going to do something. And then here's plot points where you within the dungeon where you can find stuff instead of like worrying necessarily about the exact layout of everything.
I think, what was the name of the last adventure that you published? The one with I was going to say the one with the tentacles, but that does not narrow it down very much. It's the one with the temple, and then there's a shrine under the temple. There's a blighted village. I forget the name.
Oh, are you talking about the one with the Doomsday weapon? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I don't think so. Okay. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy adventure. It's.
Oh yeah, the Oubliette. Yeah, the Oubliette. Ogre's Oubliette.
That was the first one that we played during the when we were.
Yes. Yeah, you played that one with me.
No, I think it's the one that you published this year, a few months ago. It's oh, come on! It's got all these plants.
Oh yeah, the Yagarath.
That's the one. Sorry, yeah, I just kept forgetting the name.
The Dark Curse of of Yagarath. Yeah.
Yeah, so I kept forgetting the name, but the dungeon and the thing in there isn't like you have a grid, you have the layout of this thing. It's like, okay, this thing happen. If you go this way, this thing can happen. If you go this way, this thing can happen. You can lay it out any way you like.
Exactly. And I also had shortcuts you could take. So if you to simulate like other passages. So if you didn't want to, if your person sneaks up and sees something, they might be like, oh, well, let's go the other way. I don't want to deal with this. Let's go. So then you could do that. But then I have like another encounter that you would encounter on the way, right? If there are a couple places where you can just say, no, we're not doing that. We're going to try to go around. Like the final boss encounter and everything, you can't really go around that. But there are several areas in the adventure where you can just go around and have it something different happen instead of like the encounter. So I like that because that does give the players agency. It gives them somewhat of an agency. And I always do that in dungeons anyway. That I always make other ways that you can get through stuff, as opposed to like just one. There's only one path to take. I like there to be some choice. Some choice within the dungeon.
So Tim is saying Brandish from Hammer had some of the very best GM advice of all time in his ICRPG. I mean that's a gold star resource for advice.
Yeah, Brandon is amazing. yeah. I mean, speak about a great game master. He's fantastic.
I mean, I don't think I've ever watched any games he ran, and obviously I cannot meet him in person because we're on the opposite sides of the world. But
right.
I mean, yeah, even the advice he gives on his channel is always spot on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His advice is spot on, and even if you don't play Index Card RPG, it's just worth having the book just for his advice. I mean, the advice is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
The game's great because it's easy for everybody to play because almost everyone's familiar with D&D, and it's basically a D&D clone. It's based off of D&D, like Shadow Dark and that, Deathbringer, those kind of games. But it's like, so you automatically know how to play it almost. When you pick up the book without that much studying. That's the great thing about ICRPG. So where EZD6 has a few different concepts, it's its own system. Definitely, it's not a D&D based system.
But at the same time, advice on how to run games, at least the really good advice, is usually
Oh
system.
yes, yeah, yeah. And good advice is good advice, right?
Yeah,
No matter what
absolutely.
game you run, right?
Okay.
But you know, um, it's like with game mastering, you're not going to be the best game master ever. You know, the first time you game master,
Oh yeah,
it might
never.
even be a disaster. You know, it's like, but just stick at it. Just you know, like anything you like, if you just stick at it, you'll get better. You know, yeah.
Okay, so Chris is saying EZD6 is an elegant core system with an easily extensible toolkit. Absolutely, yeah. That can grow
Yeah,
and
yeah,
grow.
yeah. And you know, I can't possibly do every single genre, every single, you know, idea that people have into a game, but you can. You know, you people
Yeah,
can
he's
take
saying you as in
these
everyone in
rules,
general, not me,
yeah,
everyone.
and make it your own. You know, make your own inclinations, make your own paths. It's very easy to do. It's very easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, like when I made the Four Horsemen, it was like partly to see how far I could stretch the rules, and they don't even have to stretch very far because they go a very long way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because really the game is mostly the rules are just a framework to play,
Mm.
and then mostly filling in is the players doing what the players do. You know, it's um, the rules are just to decide. You know, okay, does that work or not? You know, but I was a little skeptical when you first came to me with this game with the Four Horsemen. I was like, historical fantasy that's based in the I'm like that's interesting because I always thought of EZD6 as more of a gonzo game, but yeah, I mean with the stress that you put with my stress mechanic you put in and all the I like the backgrounds for the characters. I think that's fantastic. I love that. um, it really works.
Yeah,
It's a great game. It's a
I
really great game.
don't think it would have worked with Karma just because it's at that point it becomes basically not a superhero game, but far beyond what a normal person would be able to achieve.
Yeah, yeah, but it gives that if somebody wants a more down to earth kind of game um, in a dark time in a time period of darkness, um, yeah, I mean it's great and it can be fun to play those those less powerful characters
Mhm.
who sometimes that's even more heroic because you're not as powerful, right? And you're really risking it to do these things.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think it's fantastic. I
I-
love that other people. There's another one being play tested, Zellerin, which is really
yes, yeah,
interesting.
that's from by
I've
Sage.
been helping play test it actually,
Ooh, nice.
we've had a lot of fun with it. I think it's pretty cool. So we have what's the city? The Grimwood City. We
Greenwood
have
City,
Grimwood
yeah.
City, which is like another modern fantasy type game, dark fantasy. So yeah, there's more, and some people have written modules and that kind of thing. Our friend Meredith has written she released a if you're looking for character sheets for the game, she released the character sheets on DriveThru. They're
Actually,
free.
let me also drop
They're
a
free
link
on
to
there.
that.
So she's got that, and also the sheets for Wasted World, and she did a deck of cards, which is really cool to go with the core EZD6, which is really neat. Magical mementos, which are other magic item type things. Um, so, which I had a bit of a hand in, like she had me look them over and give her suggestions and stuff like that. So, but she's very intimate with EZD6 as you are, Karl. So yeah. So check out that. Check out her. I'll post that link too for her
I thought you had posted the
her
link
sheet.
to the character sheets earlier, but I can't find it.
Can't find it yet. Okay,
Okay,
I'll have to
but
look. But
Meredith, if you want to DM me the link, I'll post up in the comments or the chat right now.
yeah, because she did post them today. They just might not be up for some reason yet. So, but she did like pre-approve them and stuff, so they should be up any minute. And she's got like sheets that you can fill in, like PDFs you can fill in or just write on. She's got for both sets for Everyday Nightmares and for Dreadborn Hunters, so she's got both sheets. So
Yeah, I was actually looking at them a second ago, and I think she made them in the form of a report form, which is like an incident report. It's really good.
So yeah, I asked her if she would post those. So yeah, those should be out. But yeah, so
Oh, here we go. So I'm just going to.
cool. Oh, you found it?
She DM'd it to me, and it's going up right now. We're going to put
Oh,
it
sweet.
in the chat.
Fantastic.
There we go. Okay, so link is in the chat. And yeah, what do you say we look at some terrain now? Because we've got the community showcase and some interesting things in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so coming up. There we go. Okay, so starting up, we've got this from Dirty Basement Terrain.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, I'm sure there's something offensive written in there, but can you tell what the statue was originally?
Oh, are they telling you? Oh yeah.
So let's see, saying thank you so much for appearing today, Scotty. We look forward to more great stuff from you. Have a wonderful
Thank
holiday
you.
season.
Very kind. Thank you.
And yeah, Scattertarian is saying that's such a great patina. Yeah.
Oh, totally. The patina is fantastic.
So Lawrence, if you're still there and you want to tell us what's written in there, but the this was originally a golden demon statuette from the Citadel painting competitions.
Oh, cool.
Okay, next up is from Campaign Terrain.
Oh, that's fun.
This ship, yeah. Yeah, look at all the taxis.
Oh, that's clever to use the
Yeah.
tax. Yeah, yeah.
So this
And the
thing is
grading for the.
this thing is huge.
It is. It is.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, stacked with playable decks. Nice.
Love it.
Looking forward to see this finished. Yeah, the push pins are a great idea.
I this reminds me. I was running a D&D game one time,
Mhm.
and my wife was playing a sorceress, and I had a big ship. They were on a dwarven icebreaker, and they were going through the Arctic. And her character was on watch. She was a sorceress, and so Hagen like attacked the ship, and we're climbing up the side, and they were all in a row. And she shot a lightning bolt down the side of the ship and like basically killed like 2/3 of them in one hit.
You know, it's like if life gives you enemies in a line, you use lightning bolt. It's
Yeah, they were lined up perfectly as they climbed up on the ship. It was hilarious. And it was like, if it would have been any other person, right, it wouldn't have happened. Right? It would have been any other person on watch. But yeah.
you know, just sometimes the stars just align.
But it's those kind of fun moments that make
Oh yeah,
remember it.
totally. Okay, this one is from Sahacraft, and oh, I love the
Oh, nice.
way he does the groundwork.
That's a lot of work with all the grass and the flowers, and
Yeah, that I mean, and
looks great.
I can't zoom any further, but it looks like there's several layers of flock in there as well.
Looks great.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is a board section or maybe it's a display, like a display base, but it's really well done.
Oh yeah. Be a perfect display, actually.
Very beautiful. So again, that's from Sahacraft. Okay,
and
and
that
some.
bright green is a nice contrast from the gray.
Oh yeah, plus the flowers had a lot of color variety. Okay, so some better pictures of Lawrence's golden demon.
Neat.
Here's a closer look at the body. Oh,
One thing when I 3D print and I have a failure or something, I might save the failed print because you could use it for like stuff like this, like
yeah,
broken statues, or that kind of thing.
absolutely.
So I save all that.
There's no reason to throw it away.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, next up is Meredith from Scatter Train with some pipe cleaner trees.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I did that at one point. I'm not sure if I ever did a video. I think I might have.
Did you? I'm not sure I remember that, but might have been a while ago. Okay, so these are before and after they were lit on fire.
Looks like they covered the pipe cleaners with something.
Say again?
Looks like they covered the pipe cleaners with something.
No,
Like
I
they
think
put
they were
something on
just
the trees.
lit on fire. Just lit on fire, I think.
Oh, fire. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not lit on fire, just heated, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like singe it. Yeah.
Okay, so you have, okay, we are led to believe that yes, it is. Okay, and Scatter Train is saying, I
We
just
don't
took a candle.
judge. We don't judge. Oh, you took you took a candle. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. Because that was my that was my trick with them, was like, how do you get rid of the fluffy? you know. I think I ended up painting something on them, but they were still kind of big,
That kind of works too.
Yeah. But singeing them was great.
Yeah, the important thing is that you don't actually light them on fire. Just hold them close enough to the flame that they kind of melt. Okay, and some more of those. Oh, geez, these are creepy. I've got strong H.R. Geiger vibes from these.
Those are great. I love those. So cool.
Yeah, and again, these are made using baby doll heads. He seems to love using them.
Yeah, you can get like pre-built, pre-made molds that have faces in them too. They're like for fondant and stuff for cakes. But you could put like plaster or whatever in it.
Wait. You're saying that they make faces to make edible, make molds to make edible faces?
They have like little molds that you can buy that are like for cakes, making fondant pieces.
Why?
And some of those have really like skulls and
skulls
doll faces and kinds of cool stuff.
That looks haunted. To be fair, everything that Lawrence makes looks haunted. So yeah.
It looks great. I love it. It looks fantastic. I love the coloring too. That's
true. Yeah.
That muted coloring is really great. Gives it this kind of haunted feeling, Oh yeah, exactly. It looks haunted.
Okay, so that was all for all of the community showcase for today. Thanks to everyone who submitted pictures. And yeah, Scotty, what about you? Anything else to add?
Oh yeah. I'm like I say, I'm keeping busy with all the all the stuff. I'm too busy. But yeah, having fun and trying to get those books out there for you guys, because I know you guys like it like as much as I do. So I want you to have the fun I'm having. And thanks again for
certainly enjoying them.
It's really appreciated.
So
Because this game could have just fallen off and been another one of the thousands of games that nobody knew about. Just often languish off somewhere, but enough people helped me out and liked what they saw, and so I'm happy that people are enjoying it.
I think it's a great system, and it deserves all the success that it got.
Thank you, Karl. I appreciate that.
That's a pleasure.
You're very kind.
No, I'm just being honest.
You've all been very kind. You've all been very kind. Thank you.
Okay, so just going to paste the link for the Doomscapes again. Go get it, everyone. If everyone should get it, and everyone should be terrified.
What's that?
I said I just posted the link and to the Doomscapes book and said everyone should get it and be terrified.
Yeah, great.
Go get it. Terrify your friends. Okay, Scotty, thank you again, and this has been a great chat as usual. And yeah, I think we'll be chasing after you again once you get the sci-fi book out.
Oh yeah, I'm working on it. I promise.
Work faster.
You're right. Take care and have fun. All right. Thanks, Karl.
You too. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.